Brothers, hear me clearly. There are some things that a man of God, a king, should never accept. Every man must know his value, his assignment, and his worth in the eyes of God. But when you don't know who you are, you'll tolerate women who drain you, diminish you, and derail your destiny. Not every woman is a wife. Some are weapons sent to destroy you, and no man should ever accept this. Brothers, let me talk to you from my heart for a moment. There is nothing more dangerous to a man's soul, to a man's calling, and to a man's identity than to connect yourself to a woman who does not respect who you are. I need you to hear me. Respect is not optional for a man. Respect is not just a little icing on the cake. Respect is the oxygen that fuels the love, that fuels the connection, that fuels the commitment between a man and a woman. And when a woman refuses to respect who you are, when she makes light of your identity, when she tears down your manhood, you cannot thrive in that environment. You will suffocate. And I'm telling you right now, no man should ever accept that. Some of you brothers, you've been tolerating women who don't just disagree with you sometimes, because disagreement is natural, but women who actually despise the essence of who you are. They cut you down with their words, they emasculate you with their actions, they diminish your dignity with their constant criticisms. And you've been making excuses for it, telling yourself that's just how she is, or she'll change with time, or if I just work harder, if I just love her more, if I just give her more, maybe she'll finally respect me. But I came here to tell you the truth. You cannot earn respect from someone who has already decided you are not worthy of it. When a woman respects you, it shows up in everything she does. She may not agree with every decision, she may challenge you to think deeper, but she will not tear you down in the process. She will correct in love, she will encourage in conflict, she will speak to the king in you even when she sees the flaws in you. But a toxic woman doesn't care about building you. A toxic woman only cares about controlling you, belittling you, making you smaller so she can feel bigger. And if you're not careful, you will start to internalize her word. You'll start to think less of yourself, not because God made you less, not because you are less, but because you've been living under a voice that refuses to affirm who you are as a man. Brothers, hear me. The devil has always been after identity. When Jesus was baptized and the heavens opened, the Father declared, "This is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased." But immediately after that, the enemy came in the wilderness and said, if you are the Son of God, the enemy always attacks identity. And when you attach yourself to a woman who disrespects you, you are giving the enemy an instrument, a mouthpiece, a daily attack on your identity. You wake up to disrespect, you go to sleep to disrespect, and over time you forget who you really are. Let me tell you something. If a woman can't respect you, she doesn't deserve you. Respect is not something you beg for. Respect is not something you plead for. Respect is the natural fruit of a woman who recognizes the king within you. And if she cannot see the king, if she only sees what you lack, if she only sees where you fall short, then her eyes are blinded to your value, and you need to move on. A man without respect in his home is like a bird without wings. You can't fly, you can't lead, you can't operate in the fullness of your calling, because the very environment you're in is toxic to your soul. Now I know what some of you are thinking, but Pastor, I love her. I can't just walk away. And I hear you. Love is real, emotions are powerful. But let me ask you a question. What is love without respect? What good is affection if she mocks you when you speak? What good is passion if she cuts you down in front of her friends? What good is intimacy if she rolls her eyes at your dreams? Brothers, that's not love. That's abuse dressed up in romance. That's not a wife. That's a weapon. And let me go deeper. Sometimes the reason she doesn't respect you is because you don't respect yourself. You've allowed her to talk to you any kind of way. You've allowed her to play games with your dignity. You've allowed her to handle you like a boy instead of a man. Let me tell you something. People treat you according to the standards you enforce. If you accept disrespect, it will continue. If you make excuses for it, it will grow. If you stay silent, it will become your normal. But the moment you stand up and say, I am a man of God, I am a king, I will not be disrespected, you shift the atmosphere, and either she will rise to honor who you are, or she will walk away, and either way you will. A woman who respects you will guard your name when you're not around. She will speak well of you to others, she will encourage your leadership, not because you're perfect, but because she sees your effort and your calling. She will correct you in private, but honor you in public. That's the difference between a queen and a toxic woman. The queen understands that respect is not about flattery, it's about partnership. She knows that when she honors you, she is actually honoring herself because the two of you are one. But a toxic woman doesn't see you as one. She sees you as competition, as an obstacle, as a stepping stone for her own agenda. Brothers, life is too short, and your calling is too great to live under constant disrespect. Don't confuse her beauty with her value. Don't confuse her passion with her character. Don't confuse her presence with her purpose. If she cannot respect you, she is not aligned with your destiny. And let me remind you, it's better to be alone in peace than connected in constant disrespect. Loneliness is hard, but disrespect is deadly. I've counseled too many men who lost themselves in relationships with toxic women. Men who stopped dreaming because their dreams were mocked. Men who stopped leading because every decision was challenged with venom. Men who stopped believing in themselves because they lived with a voice that constantly told them they weren't enough. And I don't want that for you. You are too valuable to God, too significant in this generation to let disrespect diminish your identity. So, I'm saying to you as your brother, as your pastor, as your friend, no man should ever accept this. No man should ever accept a woman who disrespects his identity. Walk away from that. Protect your spirit. Guard your dignity. And wait on the one who sees the king in you. Because when a queen recognizes a king, she doesn't tear him down, she builds him up. She doesn't diminish him, she magnifies him. She doesn't mock him, she crowns him. And that's what you deserve. Brothers, let me share something with you that will free your mind if you can receive. God never designed woman to be your competitor. He designed her to be your complement. The original idea of woman in the garden was a helper suitable, a partner that fits, a supporter that completes. But when you are tied to a toxic woman, she doesn't know how to support you. She only knows how to compete with you. Instead of helping you build, she's trying to tear down what you're building. Instead of standing beside you, she's trying to stand over you. And I came to tell you tonight, no man should ever accept that. Competition in a relationship is deadly, brothers. Think about it. If you're on a basketball team and one of your teammates decides that instead of passing the ball, instead of working the play, instead of moving in sync with the rest of the team, they want to prove that they're better than everybody else. You don't have a team anymore, you have chaos. The goal is lost because the players are fighting for the spotlight. That's exactly what happens when you connect yourself to a toxic woman who cannot celebrate you without feeling diminished. Every time you rise, she feels like she's falling. Every time you shine, she feels like she's fading. And instead of being your cheerleader, she becomes your rival. Now hear me clearly. I am not saying that a woman should not be strong, intelligent, or gifted. In fact, a strong man needs a strong woman. But strength is not the same as competition. A strong woman knows how to shine in her own lane, without trying to dim your light. A toxic woman, though, feels that if you shine, it somehow takes away from her. She doesn't realize that when you succeed, the whole family succeeds. When you prosper, she prospers. When you advance, she advances. But because of insecurity and immaturity, she positions herself as your rival instead of your partner. Some of you men know exactly what I'm talking about. You've achieved something. Maybe it's a promotion, maybe it's a business idea, maybe it's a vision God gave you, and instead of encouragement, what you got from her was sarcasm. Instead of support, what you got was resistance. Instead of her saying, "Baby, I'm proud of you," she said, "Well, what about me? You think you're better than me now?" Brothers, that's not love talking, that's competition talking. And if you accept that spirit in your house, you're going to live in constant conflict. A woman who competes with you will never allow you to rest in your role as leader. She will challenge every decision not because she has wisdom to offer, but because she wants to prove she's smarter. She will withhold affirmation not because you don't deserve it, but because she's afraid it will make you more confident than her. She will try to one-up you in every conversation, every accomplishment, every opportunity. If you buy a car, she suddenly needs a bigger one. If you get a promotion, she has to remind you of her achievements. It's not partnership, it's rivalry. And brothers, rivalry in romance is poison. Let me say this, a man doesn't need a woman to be his competitor. The world already competes with him every single day. Out in society, we fight for position, for respect, for recognition. Every day, a man is battling for his place in the world. The last place he should have to fight for his position is in his own home. The home is supposed to be a sanctuary, a place of peace, a place of refueling, a place where he can lay down the armor and just be a man without the pressure of proving himself. But when you're tied to a toxic competitive woman, you go to war outside, and you come home to another war inside. And no man can live like that without breaking down. Now I know what some brothers might be thinking, well, Pastor, I like a woman who challenges me. I like a woman who pushes me. And I understand that, but there is a difference between a challenge that inspires you and competition that drains you. A queen challenges you to rise, but she doesn't fight you for the throne. A queen challenges you to think deeper, but she doesn't try to dethrone you. A queen says, I believe in you so much that I will not let you settle for less. But a toxic woman says, I need to prove I'm greater than you so I can feel secure. You see the difference? One is iron sharpening iron. The other is sabotage disguised as strength. Brothers, let me remind you of something. God gave Adam Eve, not another Adam. He didn't give Adam someone to wrestle with for identity. He gave him someone to walk with in unity. When a woman truly loves you and respects you, her success doesn't intimidate her and your success doesn't intimidate her either. She knows that if you win, she wins. If you grow, she grows. If you prosper, she prospers. But when she is toxic, she sees everything as a competition. She keeps score. She treats love like a scoreboard. And love was never meant to be scored. It was meant to be shared. Think about Samson, brothers. Samson was strong, powerful, mighty, but he was connected to a woman who didn't compliment him. She competed with him. Delilah wasn't interested in his destiny. She was interested in proving she had power over him. She wanted to break him, to expose him, to strip him of his strength. That's the spirit of a toxic, competitive woman. She doesn't celebrate your strength. She tries to control it. She doesn't honor your gift. She tries to exploit it. And Samson fell because he accepted competition when he should have demanded completion. So, I'm telling you today, don't settle for competition in your relationship. Don't confuse drama with passion. Don't confuse rivalry with romance. Love is not about fighting each other, it's about fighting for each other. And if she doesn't understand that, you need to reevaluate why you are still there. A woman who truly compliments you will be secure enough to clap for you. She will not lose herself in your shine because she knows her light comes from God, not from comparison. She will bring her gifts, her wisdom, her strengths, and she will add to your life, not subtract. That's what compliment means: to complete, to enhance, to make whole. But when you connect with a toxic woman, she's always trying to prove she's above you or equal in the wrong spirit, and that is not the will of God for your life. So hear me, brothers. No man should ever accept a woman who competes instead of compliments. Don't let insecurity masquerade as strength. Don't let rivalry disguise itself as love. The right woman will never compete with you. She will complete you. And until you find her, it's better to wait in peace than wrestle in toxic competition.